Hello, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to watch this little training with some ideas that I can share with you as you get started on this new school year with your students. I want to reach back to an older resource for seminary teachers and talk to you a little bit about the difference between what I would call create versus cultivate in your classroom. And so these older resources are still available to you in the Gospel Library under additional teacher resources. But one of the older resources talked about the importance of the fundamentals of gospel teaching and learning. And there were 6 or 7 principles there that it listed off. But one of these was called Cultivate a Learning Environment of Love, Respect, and Purpose. And I really think that it's vital, the word that they use there, cultivate, versus create a learning environment of love, respect, and purpose. Let me talk to you just for a minute about the difference between cultivating something and creating something. First of all, creating something. Here's a little picture of something I created. You can see the old date stamp on the photograph there that I scanned. If you can remember back to when we used to put date stamps on our pictures so that we'd remember when we took them. But so back from 1996, my daughter wanted a rocking horse for Christmas. And the only ones I could find were cheap and plastic, and I thought they'd be destroyed, by the evening of Christmas Day. And so instead, I decided to create. I made a rocking horse out of some nice finished birch and things like that. Well, here we are almost 30 years later, and I still own that rocking horse. My daughter's tried to convince me that it was hers because it was her Christmas present. I told her she can have it when I die. But I haven't done anything else to it. I created it once. It was done. It still looks basically the same now as it did back in 1996. And so I created it, and it was done. Now, the difference, though, between cultivating is my wife, she likes to garden and flowers. She loves her flower beds and things like that. And so here's a picture of our raised beds and our raised flower beds that we had there when we lived in Timnath. And this took constant care. I mean, you had to prepare the soil, you had to plant the plants, but then you still weren't done. It took constant care every week to be out there pulling weeds and to be doing things to keep these looking good. And so the difference between cultivating and creating is huge in the seminary classroom, because when you cultivate something, it's going to take more than just a one-time effort. It's going to take constant care and attention. So what does this mean at the beginning of a school year? Well, often I think that teachers think that, creating an environment of love, respect, and purpose is something that you do at the beginning of a semester or a year. But that would be creating it. You want to cultivate something. So it's an ongoing labor. So I imagine this week some of you have started off your classes with some getting to know you activities and having the students share their names, something about them and things like that. But can I encourage you to do this occasionally going on throughout the semester and have the students just get together and share some things about themselves or share with the class, and that will continue to cultivate this environment and not just think that it was done. I put the checklist, checked it off my list, and I was done. So here's a little idea that you could use. This is one that I'm using with my students today. It's just a little game that I call What's Common. I give each of them a half a sheet of paper that has this on it, and so then they just fill out this section here, and they put their favorite food, their favorite candy. I give them a few minutes to answer all of these little things about themselves. And then after everybody's done filling that out, then I tell them, okay, everybody up out of your chairs, out of your desks, and you're going to wander around the room. You're going to mingle and talk to people and find out who has that same thing. If my favorite food was pizza, then I need to find 2 people, or at least one person, however many people I can find, up to 2, and put their name in these other boxes. And the same thing with candies and TV shows and superheroes and the color of my eyes and things like that. And I need to do that. It just gets the kids up and talking to each other so that they get to know each other. And so I hope that you can do some things like this. There's lots of activities and ideas out there that you can do. This is just one, but I hope you will take the time to do these on and on throughout the semester so that you can help them to cultivate and maintain this environment of love, respect, and purpose. And then, of course, as we work on cultivating things in seminary, the main thing we want to cultivate is this. Elder D. Todd Christofferson put it this way: my prayer is that we will be able to help all those with whom we have any influence make covenants with God and keep them. That's a do thing, to make them, but to keep them goes on and on. And then Elder Christofferson said, help them cultivate faith and trust in God and find hope. And really, brothers and sisters, that's what we're about. And I hope that we can each do that and help our students to find love and respect and purpose in our seminary classroom throughout the semester. Thanks for watching. And if you find these beneficial, share with your other teachers that you teach with in the same building as you or in the same program, that they can watch these too and have these same benefits. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you next week.